I just wanted to share what I've been doing more of and less of this year for self-care. Now, self-care is such a broad topic, and I know a lot of the things that maybe are self-care to some are not to others, but for me, I just wanted to share with you a couple of things that I've been doing to stay sane. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I spent 4 months at the beginning of the year in New York and Arizona with my boyfriend. He lives in New York, but we went to Arizona when COVID struck really badly in New York. We just had to get out of there. So I spent a good chunk of the year in somewhere really beautiful with my partner, day in, day out. We did 120 days together, no breaks, and we only really argued twice. And during that time, I really tried to focus on things that I could control. There was so much and is so much out of our control in the world at the moment that I really wanted to focus on my immediate, vibration, my immediate energy field, and keeping that in check. First up, I changed my sanitary products to organic, chemical-free protection. I use this brand called Yoni. They are so good. I buy mine in Sainsbury's. I'm not sure where else you can get them, but I'll link them below. So I have tampons and sanitary pads. These have 0 chemicals, 0 bleach. The cotton you're inserting into your body is not processed in any way. They are certified organic, and the tampons have an applicator, so it's just like using Tampax, for example, minus the plastic, minus the bleach, minus the chemicals. Honestly, game changer. And their tagline is eat healthy below the waist. I've become so much more aware of what I'm putting into my body in every aspect, not just my food. And I'm by no means perfect. Like, I'm definitely not vegan. I am what I would call a flexitarian. I eat meat when I really feel like it. Like, if my nan throws down a curry goat or a curry chicken, I'm gonna enjoy myself. But it's not every day. Like, I used to eat meat 3 times a day, every single day. And now I would say I consume meat maybe twice a week. I eat a lot more vegetable protein, like chickpeas, or what we call in Guyana, chana. I eat a lot more salad, a lot more fish. I'm also trying to cut down on refined sugar and dairy, because those are the things that inflame my skin the most. Which brings me on to my skincare. I've been really looking at the balance between natural homeopathic skincare remedies such as black seed oil, neem, these kind of things, and then balancing with the more chemical side of things, which are products that I love, but trying to understand more the labeling now and what's actually in the products rather than just slapping any old thing on my face. So being more cautious about what I put on my skin. Our skin is our largest organ, and anything you put on it is absorbing into your bloodstream. Thirdly, I've been trying to hone my craft. You guys know that I struggle with consistency on this platform, and I'm really trying to change that. So I'm giving myself 1 video a week for now, but I'm gonna up it to 2. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I have recently hired my beautiful friend Ijatu to edit my videos and to create and help me create more content. I got this book, it's called Read This If You Want to Take Great Photographs, and I think this is part of my self-care because I really want to be the best I can be at something, and if I'm gonna create content, I want to be as good as I can possibly be. So trying to learn and take in as much information as possible without overwhelming myself, and then putting it into practice. So don't just buy a whole bunch of self-care books or informational books and then leave them on the shelf. It's pointless. It's a waste of money. I've been doing a lot more reading in general as well. Super varied stuff, all the way from Sacred Woman. This is oh my gosh, this is a phenomenal book. This is a guide to healing the feminine body, mind and soul. It's got a lot to do with your womb, bringing me back to wanting to buy products that are chemical, plastic, free. My beautiful friend Golden bought me this book, and I'm so grateful. I've been getting a lot more into herbs and treating ailments or preventing ailments with herbs, with more holistic approaches to fixing things. Especially with COVID going around, I feel like it really triggered me into thinking more about prevention than cure. I've been incorporating herbs, sea moss, black seed oil, a whole host of good stuff into my daily diet. I'm gonna do a whole separate video on that, so I'll park that up there for now. The other thing I've really been focusing on this lockdown is finances. Don't get me wrong, I've always saved, but never really focused on saving or understanding finances. During lockdown, my beautiful friend Ella became a financial advisor, and she got all her qualifications. I ended up taking out life insurance, critical illness cover. We are filming a video this week about all of the different insurances and policies that you can take out to protect yourself and your family. Briefly, she explained to me the things that are available to us that as brown people, we are less likely to know than our more privileged white counterparts. And I just think that the number of deaths that the world has seen globally from COVID really, again, triggered me into thinking, what the f? I don't have any life insurance in place. There are things that we can do that mean that, God forbid, we pass away or become ill and we can no longer work, that we can do to protect our families, our property, our investments, our assets. And the information is available out there if you know where to look, if you're not ignorant. And when I say ignorant, I don't mean intentionally, I mean literally just ignorant to what is out there in regards to help and support. So I really took a long, hard look at what I could do and what I could sign up to for a menial amount of money. Like, really, when you think about it, what I'm paying in insurance to protect my health, to protect my income, is less than what I would spend on one meal eating out at a restaurant. Apple Music, for example, is $9.99 a month. I barely listen to Apple Music anymore. I used to listen to like Selection on there, but now I'm a Spotify user. My brother kindly put me on his family plan. So why am I paying out $9.99 every month for something that I don't use or don't use to justify that cost? So I did that with all of my finances. I went through my bank statements and I looked at all the direct debits that I have coming out that are useless, redundant, maybe things that I just don't need anymore, that I'm wasting money on. Gym membership, Bloodfire. Let me tell you, I was paying $28.99 a month for the gym group membership. I think I went 4 times in 18 months. What a waste of money. I could have been paying that into life insurance or income protection. Stupid. I can't remember the name of it, but I was paying for phone insurance for a phone that I hadn't had for 2 years. £15 a month coming out of my account. Donut. Absolute donut. So just before I turned 30, really, I started to clear all of this stuff up, but I still wasn't doing a thorough enough job. And I really went through everything, consolidated all my spending, looked at all my habits. I did a bit of one-to-one coaching with a wonderful woman called Sarah Aquasombe. And when I spoke to her about budgeting, she told me that she hates that term. I have mixed views on this because on the one hand, I grew up in an immigrant family where saving was drilled into my head from a very young age. Like, you make £100, you should put 50 away. But Sarah has a really interesting way of looking at stuff, and it's like, why am I gonna budget and limit myself to a budget? Let me set myself a goal for what I want and then figure out how to make enough money or more than enough money to be able to go and afford that. That could be a lifestyle, it could be a car, could be a house, anything. So yeah, got my finances in check. I finished decorating my house and I've been working on making it a home, buying lots of plants, fresh flowers, a sofa, and just filling it with stuff that I love, really, and being way more intentional with my purchases. Working out is so important to me. I've been doing Pound Shred by Was London and also the Shona Virtue method, which I've been doing for a while now and I absolutely love it. But being way more intentional with my workouts, waking up first thing, rolling out of bed and just getting it done so I don't put it off, has been a game changer for me. It's really boosted my mood. I feel like when I wake up and I get it smashed out, I feel like I can conquer the day. It's just great. It's great for your health. It's great for the way you look. It's great for the way you feel about yourself. I've also been really dedicating quality time to my family and my relationship. Obviously, I'm in a long distance relationship, so being more intentional with the time that I spend talking to my boyfriend and the quality of that time. 20 minutes on the phone while you're running around trying to do other stuff, being distracted and not giving your partner your full attention. I just find that leads to frustration. It leads to not great communication, nothing really sticks in your brain from the conversation. Like you hang up and you don't even know what you've just spoken for 20 minutes about. And I was starting to fall into that habit because I came back to London and I was obviously getting the apartment ready, furnishing it, running around. He was busy with work, I was busy with work, and you kind of get lost in the everyday, get everything else done, and you end up giving each other like crumbs at the end of the day, not dedicating quality time to having quality conversations, and it affects your relationship. Like it started to take a toll on the way that I was feeling. Like I started to feel very disconnected. So in order to reconnect, I voiced how I felt and we both worked towards dedicating time to our relationship, because it's important, especially when you're far away and you can't just hug someone, or you know, you have a disagreement, or maybe you don't see eye to eye on something, and physical touch is not there for you to reconcile or just to let someone know you're there. So you have to do most of the legwork through words, which is tough. Same goes for family. Once a week now, my brother and I will meet up and spend the majority of the day together. And we'll do stuff that we love doing, like whether that's cooking, always cooking, wandering around, exploring places, or you know, just staying in and catching up, having a good old chat about things that are important to us. Being aware of who you spend your time with and how you feel after spending that time with that person or those people has been something that's completely changed the game for me also. I'm very aware of my energy and how it's affected by different people, and even people that I love, sometimes being around them for extended periods of time, or you know, like for example, the whole day or an evening. Sometimes I will leave or they will leave and I won't feel as good as I felt before they got there or before I left. And just taking note of those things and maybe why they're happening, so you can either address that with your friends or distance yourself, and creating a little bit of healthy separation sometimes so you can regroup and come back at your best. As important as it is to spend time with your family and your friends and your partner, it's also super, super important to spend quality time with yourself. And for me, it looks different on different days, but for example, that might be half an hour with a cup of tea and a good book sat on the couch, or that might be half an hour in bed meditating. It might be going for a walk in nature. It might be having a long hot bath with some magnesium flakes. Identifying and practicing the things that you know work for you when you're by yourself, and really enjoying your own company, getting comfortable with being alone. I hope these tips have helped you. These are just my go-to current things that I'm doing and that I've implemented into my life that I want to continue moving forward. They're here to stay. This is a lifestyle thing. I hope you can use some of the tips, and I will see you in the next upload.